Ye. I will not
Hello, ladies and
apologize
gentlemen. Welcome back to the
for that.
Mehcast, and oh, what a motley crew we are. Today I'm back
Yep.
to Starstruck Vagabond with my psycho wife and my brain-dead sidekick. And I've got my sweet Hulk Hogan mustache.
The funny thing is that totally not Mark ended up growing a mustache.
Yeah. I have a mustache in real life, but it is not nearly as impressive as the Hulkster's.
I am half tempted to just tweet out a post of which mustache would win in a fight. I mean, totally not Mark's or the stash of God from Bleach.
Hmm.
Anyway, so the rain doesn't seem to be letting up this morning. How peculiar.
Oh, like the rain from yesterday. What the hell is that?
IGA. It's a shame I don't get to date you in this playthrough because you were actually one of the better waifus.
Ah! Well, Well, considering I don't think we've ever done anything together, or I have a feeling that we didn't really do either of those, so, you know. Okay, there we go.
All right, Alex. Looks like we are going to help our little one develop with their social self-esteem issues.
Innuendo? No, in her endo.
Who wants to help me with my self-esteem issues? You decided to join drama instead. No, senpai.
Senpai
And
unfortunately did indeed notice her, and did not have enough sense to not take her back to the ship with him. Leaves a perfectly good carrot cake out in space. There was a new update for this game today. I haven't looked at the patch notes to see what that might entail, so I am willing to be pleasantly surprised. I'm gonna run back and grab that carrot cake. And get back to breaking up this shit. Oh my god, more carrot cake.
All right, we helped our with the social link.
Why are people just leaving money and food out in the middle of You know what, I'm not gonna question it. People do this shit in real life. They just find, like, perfectly good shit. Like,
Sorry,
canned
Nanako.
goods. People throw away canned goods all the time. I don't know why. People with more dollars than sense, as my dad likes to say.
Sorry, Nanako. I'm not interested in hanging out with you.
It's fuel. Which means it's coming back to the ship with me. I rewatched Big Trouble in Little China recently. It was part of the dojo's movie night on Saturday. And I couldn't help but notice that there are a lot of films these days, because I'd seen Big Trouble in Little China probably more like 10 years ago now. And I couldn't help but notice that there are a lot of films that try to recreate the comically clumsy hero thing that Big Trouble in Little China does, but they do it so poorly. Because Big Trouble in Little China is a great movie with some downright hilarious performances from all involved, you know? Um, Kurt Russell is amazing, everybody else is amazing. Funny enough, Gerald Nakamura from Samurai Cop shows up in the film. You probably don't know who that is, so I'm going to explain. This is
Nope.
a movie called Samurai Cop, which is about what you think it is.
A
There's this
cop who
cop.
is also a samurai.
Yes.
Wow, how did I guess that?
Yeah. So he like spent some time over in Japan, and then they made him a samurai, and he returned to San Francisco to be a cop, or it might be Los Angeles. I can't remember. It's irrelevant what city it is. Point being that he is samurai and cop, and
How how peculiar.
yes, and Gerald Nakamura plays the bad guy in it, and he's one of the bad guys in Big Trouble in Little China, and one of the defining characteristics of Big Trouble that a lot of people have brought up over the years is the fact that Jack Burton, and while he is the focus character, he is not really what people would call the big damn hero, as it were. Or like that's Wang, the other guy, the guy he makes the bet with, and that leads to their
I
oh
are
god damn it.
you are you Colonel Wang? Yes, I am Colonel Wang. May I touch you? It's funny because Wang means penis. Please tell me you've seen
It's funny because Wang means penis.
please tell me you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged for that joke to
I
work.
have seen all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged multiple times.
Belial, Behemoth, Beelzebub, Asmodeus, Satanas, Lucifer. What? That's a thing.
Yeah, hang on. Starboard fuel supply insufficient. But it says that there's an engine fault. I wonder what that means.
It means a
Doesn't appear
lot
to
of
be any
things, Alex.
doesn't appear to be any problem in here. It's probably outside given what we see there. And oh, there's plenty of fuel over there, so let's put it over here. Boom. Oh yeah, new episode of The Boys. So you know how Simon Pegg is Huey's dad?
Yeah, what about it?
Okay, well, so you know the character of Huey Campbell was based on Simon Pegg's appearance in the comics, and so they wanted to get him to play Huey in the movie. Then 20 years passed, and well, more like 15 years passed, and Simon Pegg was too old to play the role anymore, and they decided instead to cast somebody else and make him Huey's dad. Makes perfect sense. But he was only really prominent in season 1. He had a brief like a voice-only cameo in season 2. Then he returned in season 4, and they yeah, the character had a stroke and he was essentially brain dead, which is great because now we get to introduce Huey's mom, who abandoned them, and you know, all that bullshit. And there we go. And they have this little issue with her, because she's got power of attorney over Huey's dad. And so Huey goes and gets Compound V from A-Train. At the end of the previous episode, Huey was weighing up whether or not to do it. Then his mom just went ahead and did it. And so Hugh Campbell Sr. spends all of about one episode being kind of okay, and then he runs around and killing a bunch of people before Huey and his mom give him the lethal injection at his own request. So congratulations. Well, you wasted one of the funniest comedic actors of all time. Absolute, genuine brilliance of a performer on doing absolutely fuck all this season. Granted, his performance was great, and this episode was made all the better for the fact that he was in it and he gave the performance that he did. But you know, I can't help but feel a certain crossover between the latest episode of The Boys and the recent presidential debates, because Huey's dad reminded me quite a lot of Joe Biden, in that his brain doesn't function correctly and he can't remember shit. That a little bit too on the nose. The show is certainly attempting to be like that, but well, the show is not achieving that. Really, like, the best parts of this episode, this season thus far, have been the stuff with Huey and his dad, Huey and his mom, Huey and A-Train, and obviously the stuff with Homelander. Because Homelander went back to the lab where he was made, and they contradict a few things about what happened with him, because originally he was supposed to be a test tube baby, and now they said that they implanted Soldier Boy's they implanted the embryo inside a some teenage runaway, and he burst through her when he was born, the way Ryan burst through Rebecca when he was born. But problem, as far as we knew, back in season 3, in the episode titled The Only Man in the Sky, which is a quite good episode of the show, despite all the rest of that season's flaws, Homelander stated that he'd been poured out of a test tube, essentially. He didn't know what his birthday was, but if he came out of if he exploded from the womb of a teenage runaway that they paid to be a surrogate, well, you'd know what day he'd been born.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
at the farm, so at this farm that's owned by Giancarlo Esposito, aka Stan Edgar, who is the best
or Gus.
Yeah, aka Gus, the best character in the series.
Oh, great. Yuki goes back. Yay. I'm so happy.
Yeah. So Gus's adopted daughter, aka Victoria Newman.
No, you're not.
Hang on, I'm getting a phone call.
You're welcome. Cool. How can you be sure of that? Can you now? Yukiko, we did not see your cooch, so I think we didn't see everything. The only thing I'd ever be looking forward to in a Persona 4 remake. Amanda Winley no longer voicing Yukiko. That would be a dream come true. Early morning to morning. Yay! And now, after school, the answer is no. How did I guess? It's almost like I've played this game before. Then he whacked me over the head with a giant sack of potatoes. But it wasn't actually a sack of potatoes. It was a stuffed golden retriever plushie. He called it a sack of potatoes. I don't understand why. No, you're not. Dun dun dun! No. No, the culprit is just some weirdo who thinks himself to be better than everybody else and is just so jaded. It's simple, Chie. And he had that sweet chin music. That's not going to be for a while, Mr. Yosuke Hanamura. No! Really? You don't say, Yosuke! What's next on the Captain Obvious list? Nah, it's not murder. Fuck, you were not. Yeah, but it's just us four. GA, you're more of a kicker than a puncher. We don't hate you to that degree, Miss Winley. We hate you enough to tell you to uh, uh, stop doing things related to Ava. After all, you are the reason why End of Ava sucked so much in the dub. Eh, I'm not so sure on that. Rank up. We could always. Well, no, duh. Okay. Except, um, I mean, hmm, he's gonna hear this and be like, maybe I was being a little too predictable, if you will. I might think about throwing in a dude mix. And that is, well, yeah, dear family, we've kidnapped your child. Here's here's the amount of money that you need to forward to our account. No! Yeah. Ah.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, I had a phone call to take.
So,
So anyways, they're trying to find this virus that, from Gen V that'll kill Soups, right? Never mind the fact that that's kind of a strange concept in the first place, but, you know.
Yosuke, hey, I'm
We'll get
sorry, but
there.
you're on your own, buddy. Hey, I'm sure you could take both of these girls on by yourself.
And, so the show briefly turns into Resident Evil when they use Stan Edgar to try and figure out where Victoria Newman is doing her experiments with the virus, the soup virus thing. And turns out she was doing it at his farm, and they gave it to a bunch of farm animals.
Oh, you're talking about that part.
Yeah, you've seen the
Yeah,
thing with the flying sheep.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, it turns into Resident Evil, except that the characters are slightly less well armed and less good at what they do. And the thing about the sheep is like, I don't, because they gave all the animals Gen V, they don't, not Gen V, Temp. They gave them like Temp V and Compound V and shit like that. They wind up being able to fly, and they're immune to bullets and shit like that. Like, do you remember back when they were like given like one superpower and stuff like that? You know, it was kind of a big deal that Homelander had a couple, Soldier Boy had a couple, fucking Starlight had. She had one to start with. It was the light electricity thing, and then it turned into her being able to fly if she used enough of it, and which is, you know, you can do that. It's just really impressive that she could. You know, there were limits to things, and now just randomly having really hyper powerful animals with the fucking Compound V shit. I feel like we're losing the plot somewhat, but then again, and this show lost the plot a long time ago, and we're kind of just wondering where we're going at this point. Yeah, no, the stuff with Homelander, going through his traumatic childhood and destroying all the people who made him into the monster that he is today, that was pretty good. And the funny thing is, he's actually kind of, like, he's kind of trying to be a better father to Ryan, which is bizarre. Like, it's bizarre to see him doing what he's doing with Ryan, and because I understand that, you know, he is teaching Ryan and to look down on others and be, you know, be just as much of a stuck-up son of a bitch as he is, but he's also doing it in such a... Fucking Christ, guys.
In such a Jesus fucking Christ, guys.
Honey, you couldn't smash the slime monster. They literally have 1 HP. And I hurt myself picking up a shiny stone. Story of my life.
You know, we were just talking about this case involving the killer, and wouldn't you know it, the killer is right there. I know, I'm already spoiling the plot of a well over 10-year-old game, but what can you do? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just took the
you're not
liberty
being subtle.
of another replacement guitar. So I've gone through 3 EVH Wolfgangs, not because I've been breaking them, but because they've shown up in various states of disrepair. And you know, when you buy a new instrument, it's not supposed to be like that. And so I've got I got one from Pro Audio Star, that was... It was fine as far as it played, but it had this big crack at the bottom of the neck joint, which isn't good. So I got one from Sweetwater. That was fine as far as the neck joint went, but the switch tip was broken, the switches between the pickups, and it was loose. And then I found that the tone knob was loose as well. Like, it was both loose on the pot, and the pot itself was loose. And then I went to adjust the truss rod to try and make sure, because it was having some fret buzz on the lower frets on the bass side, and it was just like it was frozen. It wouldn't work. I almost bent the truss tool while trying to make it work, and yeah, that's not good. So they sent me another, and this one appears to be fine. I haven't had a chance to plug it in yet, because that was what I was doing before I jumped in the shower and came on here. I did a little recording of my unboxing of that, which will not be available to anybody except Sweetwater if a problem appears this. But,
Oh, it's not that they're useless, Yukiko. It's just they happen to be duped by by a violent sociopath.
huh.
Why weren't you
That's-
eating, you dumb broad?
That's thematically relevant to the boys. People being duped by a violent sociopath.
Yeah, except Dachi, you could make a reasonable argument for why he is able to dupe people.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Homelander just kind
Homelander
of threatens people. Technically, Butcher could... No, Butcher's not a sociopath. He's just nuts sometimes.
yeah, like when he ran over Translucent with his car.
Well, yeah, that is a certain degree of nuts, but that was also the right thing to do given the circumstances. So.
And then also Huey ends up killing him by shocking him with that cord.
Oh, that didn't kill him.
And I'm like, I have a question to ask about Translucent's powers.
So he has bulletproof skin, but and that's part of his, that's part of why he has this bulletproof crystal skin thing that makes him go invisible, but he,
Let me guess. He's naked.
Yes, as a matter of fact,
So his invisibility is one that doesn't turn his clothes invisible. Well, just his body.
yes.
And Teddy hands Yukiko a pair of glasses.
But yeah, the taser to the ass does not kill Translucent. Translucent dies later on from something, mostly unrelated. I've emptied out the residue of the fuel. I can eat again, and then go check out this derelict. Yeah. It was interesting, because that was like the big damn heroes moment of the first episode, where it seemed almost like there wasn't gonna be anything else going on, and then Translucent showed up, and it was like, holy shit, Invisible Man's here. And he was like beating Huey's ass, and Butcher showed up, would hit him with the car.
Oh god.
And it was like, are we actually going to be able to beat this guy? And then Huey, he hit him with the open electrical cords.
Alex, would you mind looking at my stream for a brief moment?
Yes, let me pause the game briefly. Oh, who's this?
I have many questions about
It's
why Yukiko decided to wear this.
it's Yukiko Marks.
No, it's Amanda Winley's true form. Don't you know? What should I say? Looks great, it doesn't fit you, or it looks natural on you?
Say that it looks natural on her.
Apparently. Alex, how did it come to this? Now Chie's wearing the disguise.
Uh, hmm. That's a good question.
Oh wait, I should start the virtual camera and yeah, now you can see it.
Also, I've been rewatching The Boys season 1 recently, and I can't help but come to the conclusion and that this season was completely written by the seat of Eric Kripke's pants, and he didn't give a shit because there's a lot of stuff back in season 1 that contradicts the things that happen later on, like when Starlight is being incredibly careful with her powers and not doing her best not to blind people and things like that. Like the fact if she had accidentally blinded somebody during her first rescue, I kind of feel like that would have come up before now, that kind of thing. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe Billy would have brought it up when he was trying to get Huey to break up with Starlight.
This show is going down the shitter, isn't it?
The only two compelling things about it were Simon Pegg and Homelander, and Giancarlo Esposito, when he actually wound up being there. So I guess that's three things. But the point is the few things that this show has going for it that are quickly going away. There are 3 episodes left of this season, and then there's another season and on the way. Okay, not on the way immediately, but season 5 will apparently be the last one. The very last one. And no nothing else except for a second season of Gen V, and a bunch of other spin-offs. But, you know, they're totally making fun of the MCU this time, guys. It's like, hey, the MCU is shit now. You know how we keep doing all these reshoots? Yeah, we're making fun of that. You know how we keep, you know how the MCU keeps doing shit like how superhero movies keep rebooting every 5 minutes. Yeah, we're totally making fun of that. We're not doing that with you know, we're not technically rebooting in the universe as we're going by rewriting our own goddamn history. How do reboots even work in the Vought universe? Because, like, Tech Knight is there. Tech Knight is in that... Also, I want to bring up that, I referenced Tech Knight as being Huey's favorite superhero, somewhat vaguely, in 2 Men in the Sky, before Eric Kripke did it. So, I want to gloat there for a second. And I did that like 2 years ago, too. No, more like a year and a half ago. I can't remember when that chapter came out. Now, the point being, I did it first, goddammit. I don't get any credit for it, because, you know, frankly, Yeah, I just picked it out because he was one of the few characters that hadn't shown up yet, and I needed somebody who had a sort of vaguely defined character. But yeah, so Tech Knight showed up in Gen V. He's the man who wants to fuck anything. And his, he doesn't have his suit of armor the way he does in the comic, which is kind of unfortunate, because that's part of what made Tech Knight cool. He is instead a true crime reporter. And they say, well, it's been a whole year since our last movie, it's time for another reboot. Like I said, how do reboots work in that? Because the heroes are playing themselves in their movies, and, which is interesting by itself, but, you know, we'll get to that. And, not only are the heroes playing themselves, like, all of this shit's public. Like, Vought can do what they want to try and cover it up, but, like, people already don't like the amount of reboots they see here. I have a feeling that if they were, like, rebooting actual historical events... Oh, recipe for vodka. Like, it would be almost unacceptable. Granted, people are genuinely fucking stupid, and Ridley Scott tried to rewrite actual history with the Napoleon film. It's like, oh, there's nothing saying that Napoleon didn't fire his cannons at the pyramids, except for the fact that Napoleon's explorations of pyramids are some of the most thoroughly historically documented explorations before immediate modern times. But, you know, you're making a film, you're making art, you could ignore all you want. I'm Ridley Scott, I made Alien and Gladiator.
And that weird adaptation of the Ten Commandments.
And also, oh, that one fucking thing, oh yeah, he's making a sequel to Gladiator. Have you seen,
Nope.
Okay, hey, so, oh, apparently Russell Crowe is coming back, even though he died in the last one. And also, it's going to have Joel from The Last of Us in it.
Why?
Not Troy Baker, but life is good, but it could be better, man.
No one likes you, Pedro Pascal. You
AKA
are a gigantic douchebag.
AKA fake Donald Trump.
The man who made the wall a reality.
I'm going to build a wall, and I'm going to make the Middle Easterners pay for it. Oh yeah, Pedro Pascal is in it. He actually looks pretty good. The movie doesn't look that bad. Ridley Scott has done nothing but screw the pooch these days, though, so, you know. I was actually looking forward to Napoleon, and then it turned into Incel the movie, which is funny because he was the emperor, and it's good to be the king. Other than that... yeah, but, yeah. It's one of those things about the boys that starts to strain credulity, kind of like the whole thing of Ryan's first save being scripted out by Vought. Rather than just, I don't know, allowing the bulletproof child to do something impressive. They script a thing, and then Homelander shows up and fucks things up, and then he kills a guy, and Ryan, and is naturally upset about that because he's not as callous as Homelander, despite Homelander's best attempts at making a monster out of the little boy. The funny thing is, Homelander shows more of a conscience into the shit that he's done than Jeffrey Dean Morgan is doing for the stuff that he's trying to get Butcher to do, which is funny because Butcher was like the guy who had very little in the way of conscience for what he asked people to do. And that was one of the reasons why I brought up how he was always just on the verge of asking people to do terrible things. I don't know. Other than that, let's see, star map. Gotta go to Gleef. Oh, hang on. I have a package I need to drop off. Where does that need to go? Yas 3. Okay.
I earn lots of money.
Star map. Yas. Go.
Oh,
Yeah, so Jeffrey
great.
Dean Morgan has been doing a whole lot of nothing in this show, too, other than trying to get Butcher to be more of a monster. Which is kind of something that he doesn't want to do. Like, he keeps trying to find a better way, which is interesting, because you didn't think that that was Butcher's way before. They still haven't... Incredibly unrealistic in that I think that, once Ezekiel, because Ezekiel, the gay mega preacher, hang on.
Yeah, da da, yeah, da da, yeah, da 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 da. Where is Marie?
And, yeah, so... Jeffrey Dean Morgan's trying to get Butcher to be more of a monster. Butcher kind of doesn't want to be. He kind of wants to... What he really wants is to try and make things better before he dies, which is, I think... It's a good move for the character. It's not a good move for the end game of this series. Because Homelander is moving towards the end game of the comic, and we don't have that really set up in terms of what Butcher is trying to do. Because in the end game of the comic, Homelander essentially, and this is not something that is influenced by recent events, semi-recent events at all. This is something, because the comic was from, like, 2006. This was something that he came up, this is something Garth Ennis came up with a long, long, long time ago. So it essentially ends with Homelander attempting to take over the entire world, starting with the United States government. And Homelander is taking steps towards that becoming a reality in the show.
Yay.
But Butcher has like 6 months to live, and unless they come up with a solution real fucking quick, I have a feeling he's not gonna make it to Homelander storming the White House with the soups. And in fact, I have a feeling that he wouldn't be able to stand up to him anyways, because the only reason they were able to stand up to him in the comics was because they had Compound V. The boys were all on Compound V, like, permanently. They just had, like, enhanced super strength. They didn't have, the ability of flight. They didn't have the ability to do, shoot lasers out of their eyes or anything like that. Speaking of which, there is a new chapter of Brewing Storms, a Crisis on Two Earths out, that came out yesterday. If you are, you want to go check that out.
Our poor little sister was told some bad news.
Yeah. I kind of feel like, instead of Starlight going over and beating up fucking female redhead Alex Jones, I think it should have been... Hi, Fixbot. Service ship. What do I need to service my ship? My ship's fine, I think. Adding a warp coil. Kinetic gloves. Improved air storage. Foreign matter filter. Let's see. Adding a warp coil is something I've been after for a long time, so I'm gonna go get my other upgrade unit and get that.
By the way,
yeah, it looks like they're trying to make the moves towards Homelander trying to take over the White House, and getting the other heroes to back him up on that. And still nothing from Queen Maeve. Let's see. Yep, need more warp coil. Still nothing from Queen Maeve. She is apparently retired for good, as far as I can tell, with that, with whatever her name was. Don't know, trying to think here about what else has gone on, because it's been kind of a eventful week, and this hasn't exactly been in the forefront of my mind. Oh yeah, Wellister and I were talking about this over on... God damn it, there's nowhere to sell this shit.
Over on God damn it, there's nowhere to sell this shit.
Okay, so Wellister and I were talking about the boys during our Left 4 Dead stream on Saturday, and we wound up having some issues, some interesting little issues, wherein some fuckers were joining what was supposed to be a private game and shooting us, spamming the Steam chat, and then kicking us out of our own game after changing their names to ours. That was great. Valve, you need to fix your shit. Seriously, I need to find a place to sell this stuff.
Yosuke, don't look at me. I'm not the one who suggested this place. This wouldn't really be my first pick.
The irony,
she
of course,
said,
is not
I want
on me. If I'd have
she said,
that larger
and every day is
platform,
great at your Junes, and so I was like, okay, we're going to Junes. I mean, would you like to know Yuki Ochie? That's adorable.
Really need to get to a medical facility and get myself some health. Yeah, that was unfortunate. We wound up stopping and playing some Halo. We had had to deal with a broken air conditioner. That was great. New air conditioner, or that we were supposed to get Saturday, or they were supposed to install Saturday. It was busted.
Oh. Why, yes, she can.
Yeah, I've done all the sector jobs here. As for S Prime, Let's go. It don't do anything but waste my time. Whatever. I'm struggling to come up with things to talk about for once.
And so I forget, did we already talk about the drama that I ended up getting faced with?
You talking about the arm arch shit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arm
So,
Arts is back. For those of you who don't know,
yeah.
Arm Arts is an old bugbear of ours who shows up every now and again and then bitches at us about things. He's been bugging me on Twitter. He's been bitching at Kevin on Tumblr. I don't know why he's on. Oh, I know why he's on Tumblr. It's because Brett promotes our Damon Brett, the guy with the Yusei Fudo profile picture. He promotes our stuff over on Tumblr, and
yeah,
I guess Arm Arts just has no fucking life and has decided to bitch about us.
And he's been told by Zero multiple times to stop, but he's not going to stop, to the point where now he is using a picture of me that he has no permission to use.
Yeah.
It was as his profile on Tumblr, and has compared me to Chris Chan.
Well, he's been saying that I support like Fox News and Rupert Murdoch on Twitter, and I'm like, where the fuck did you get that conclusion? And is it because I don't espouse like strict party line hard left politics at every turn? And is that it? Because like that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, and he apparently, it's like apparently he also kind of dick rides voice actor quite often, and to the point where I'm just like, dude, dude.
Well, the funny thing is, he always accuses us of being dick riders and the stuff he's talking about, and it's like, okay, shut the fuck up, dude. 90% of the time, I'm off doing my own thing, minding my own goddamn business, and then
he is not only insulted
how bad The Last Jedi was, and then he showed up and said that it was literally. Let me pull this up actually, because this was the lamest fucking retort that I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Let me see here. Scrolling down. Come on. Oh, hilarious. The account got deleted. That's great. So I can't find that.
He's a pussy.
Tweet. I think it might have been because he was violating Twitter terms of service, but he's been
ban evading for way too long a time. It's like you get on his ass and he'll run away like a little bitch, and then acts like, and it's like he's been manipulating people, all using them, and guess what? Zero's also afraid that if he decides to finally disavow him as a friend, and guess what? Now he's gonna start targeting him.
Yeah.
This guy.
Frankly,
this guy does not understand. This guy does not understand that. It's like, look, you have beef with me. You keep it between us, and if I don't want to speak to you, then just stop it. And that doesn't give you the right to go after anybody that I associated with, especially my family member. And if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna press legal action against you.
Well, here's what he said. So I replied. There's this post from Chris Wolfhard on Twitter. What's that quote from a writer that's like, really arrogant people get into a genre thinking they're hot shit and then recreate all the genre conventions that have existed for decades and are confused when nobody is impressed? And then I replied saying Rian Johnson is the embodiment of this practice in both sci-fi and mystery, because he is. Like, he has enshittified two of my all-time favorite genres of fiction, in both the in both science fiction and like I said, sci-fi and mystery. He started off in mystery movies. He made a couple of sci-fi films, and then he went back to mystery movies, and all of them are fucking ass. And I said, you know, Rian Johnson is the embodiment of this practice, and then Armart's replied to me saying, "You're the embodiment of this practice." And it's like, fucking kidding me, dude. I didn't know this was that guy at the time. I was, let's see here. If I go to Yid, I can complete one of the jobs there, and then I should be able to go to Gleef, go to Twiggery. Yeah.
Oh, his literal retort was no you.
Yeah, it was basically, it was a completely unrelated, thing, too. Oh.
Well, now I started the...
Baby's Day Out. Have you heard about that movie?
No.
Okay, so it's a movie about a baby's day out. Oh, so Patrick Reed Johnson and was the yeah, he was the director for the film. And he said 30 years ago on Twitter, he says 30 years ago today, Fox decided to open up us against a little animated movie from another studio. Oh, and if you want a hint about what that studio is, that studio will go on to be a rather large influence on the future of Fox in the next several years. The following Monday morning, a Fox VP called me to commiserate about the dismal opening and actually said, in all seriousness, "Fuck, who knew The Lion King was gonna be so huge?"
Okay, then.
Everybody who's seen Baby's Day Out is now laughing hilariously, hysterically. Because Baby's Day Out is not what I'd call a terrible movie. But it's not great either. Sure as fuck ain't The Lion King, the highest grossing animated movie of all time, don't at me. Technically, yeah, adjusted for inflation, I believe it still is. But fuck the Lion King remake, as you'll well know from our commentary on it. And the YMS review, from which we got our hilarious sample for the soundboard from.
Yep.
I can't wait for more of that, but unfortunately, the Adam's tendonitis has been causing him problems, and he hasn't been able to edit as much of the video as he'd like to, or as we would like to, but, you know, not gonna force a man to cripple himself to, make entertainment for my sake. What am I, a professional wrestler? What am I, Vince McMahon?
Perhaps you are in disguise.
You're fired. One of these days, I'd like to do that in front of somebody who actually got to meet Vince McMahon. And maybe somebody related to him, and see what they thought.
So we're gonna practice our kung fu with Chie. Or would it be karate because we're in Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Alex, what do you think?
Karate, is it a striking art?
She kicks things.
Probably karate, then.
I love how I could just boil down Chie's little thing to... Ooh, she kicks things.
Oh yeah, there's a new Hellboy movie coming out this year.
It's gonna suck.
I have no doubt about that, but, the interesting thing is, nobody knew that it was in production, nobody knew that it was filming, nobody knew who anybody was that was attached to this film until the announcement was made that the Hellboy movie was coming out. It's another reboot. Not connected to the David Arbor movie, thankfully.
Nor is it
Not that,
connect. Nor
yeah,
is it
not
connected to the Guillermo del Toro
the
movies.
infinitely superior Guillermo del Toro movies and also the animated films. Remember when people were complaining? He was like, "Oh, Mike Mignola invented Hellboy. It wasn't Guillermo del Toro." Is like Mike Mignola wrote for the both of the Hellboy movies. Those two movies are really good. Like it's not just a matter of like people think that he was responsible
Oh
for
my
it. Is
god.
like the fact that Hellboy 1 and 2 were really good overrides everything. Yeah, Hellboy 2 was an all-original story. It was an all-original story written by Mike Mignola.
And it actually adds to the overall mythos.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good movie. Both of them are really good. I can only say that so many times, but like the fact that they went to the lengths that they did with those films will always make them by far and away better than just about any of the other Hellboy movies that could have followed. And yeah, Ron Perlman's getting up there. Yeah, we can't really do all this. Make it animated. They already made 2 animated Hellboy movies. They were pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, and oh, and in tune with
Yeah, do
the
it stop
that
motion.
whole
Del Toro's getting big into stop motion these days.
yep. And by the way, Alex, in tandem with the earlier discussion on Mr. Arts, I had to tell the artist that I usually commission to go block and report as if they try
Oh yeah.
if he tries anything.
Oh yeah. Well, that guy. Considering he was like shit posting in completely unrelated material. Well, not like shit posting in terms of like the funny kind, but like posting shit in my comments section and for unrelated things. Um, you know, yeah, that's perfectly understandable. Well, because like
But
if
anyway,
you
let's
want
move
to try
on.
and say like targeted harassment, the fact that he was not fucking going away is kind of more targeted harassment than anything else. And he is like he was persistent. But yeah, let's go ahead and move swiftly onwards. Because we have more interesting things to talk about.
Yep. So, oh, the so how do you feel out about the Sonic Shadow generation? It's based on what a Choctopus was able to record, which was
Well, it looks pretty fucking good, and I can't goddamn wait.
the weird thing is that when I saw like IGN and whatnot on gameplay of it they changed the music for the space colony stage and that's played in the demo. Oh, which in that one it was supposed to be the final rush theme from Sonic Adventure 2.
That could just be like a placeholder that they changed for the
Yeah,
demo.
but they
Oh, because demos
yeah,
don't
but
always have final music
yeah,
in
but
them.
they yeah, but here's the thing. That it actually felt like a recomposition of the final rush theme in Sonic Adventure 2, whereas
Oh,
as the
cool.
theme that at IGN and whatnot used was was the theme for the stage the arc from Shadow the Hedgehog, and it wasn't new music, it was the same tune from the game.
Huh.
So Sonic had also seen Inside Out 2.
Huh. Is it
Our
any
buddy.
good?
He said it was as good as the first movie. B plus he gave it.
I'll have to check it out eventually. It's on my list, along with the Chris Pratt and Tom Holland Troll movie, I think.
Uh,
I have that. I
that
picked it up on clearance.
that just sounds like a terrible idea.
Onward, that's what it's called. Did you see that there's apparently a third Superman suit in Superman? Oh, god damn it.
Why am I not surprised in the slightest?
So there's the one they used for the promo, then there's the one that they're using in filming. Both of those have the silly little trunks on him that I was kind of hoping we could have moved beyond, but
Keep in mind, we're
now
never going to move on from that.
guess what the set pics of this new suit don't have?
Trunks.
Oh my fucking god. It's weird.
Let me-
It's really fucking weird. This movie must have cost like $500 million with as much bullshit as is going on in it. I don't get it. It seems like there's way too... And apparently there's... Did you read the plot synopsis?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, let me pull that up real quick.
Basically, James Gunn is doing Man of Steel and BVS
put together.
but with his coat of paint.
Oh, I'm not asking for the plot summary of Superman the movie, I'm asking for the plot summary of James Gunn's. James Gunn, Superman. In the film, Superman's journey to reconcile his alien heritage with his human family is explored, kind of like what happened in Man of Steel. Okay, so... Superman has been active for a couple of years. I thought this was supposed to be an origin movie, James Gunn. Yeah. And is struggling to reconcile his human upbringing with his Kryptonian heritage. I thought this was supposed to be different from Man of Steel, James Gunn. Other superheroes are edgy and kill when necessary. You mean like Superman does? In every iteration. Anyways, let's see. Superman is an outcast among them for his optimism and no-kill rule. Superman doesn't have a no-kill rule. He hasn't had a Superman. Superman has not had a no-kill rule since the Silver Age, and even then, it was completely inconsistent. They only ever declared it occasionally, and it was, like I said, dramatically inconsistent. Of course, the Silver Age is the, Silver Age led into the era where General Zod wound up getting killed for the first time. Other than that, yeah, this is kind of a pointless creation of conflict here. You know how much I hate pointless conflicts when we could just be having superhero stories. Go watch our Young Justice commentaries to find out more about that. And ultimately inspires them to change their ways. So it's Batman v Superman.
Yep.
Lex Luthor is a war profiteering on an armed conflict in a foreign nation called Jahanpuria. Jahanpuria. Let me Google this and make sure that I'm, not pronouncing this right. Oh! Jahanpurians are a powerful extraterrestrial species originating from the planet Jahanpur. one of 3 planets that orbited the sun Rao, in addition to Krypton, Daxam. Oh my god. Ancient secluded land run by Ramakan. Is it on Earth? It was on New Earth. Yes, it was on Earth. So the Arrowverse fucked me in my attempt to find out more about this. Thank you, Greg Berlanti, for your just absolute rigid adherence to canon continuity when you fucking feel like it, which is almost never. But yeah, so Jahanpur is one of those obscure lands from DC, so James Gunn is doing a better job than the Arrowverse did, which isn't a high bar to clear, but whatever. Lex Luthor is war profiteering on an armed conflict in a foreign nation, so it's Batman v Superman. Superman intervenes in the conflict, so it's Batman v Superman. And the US government deploys a clone created by Luthor, or dubbed Ultraman, to arrest him. Ultraman deteriorates into Bizarro. Well, that ain't how that fucking works, and also, Ultraman, as we've seen, he looks like fucking Black Noir from the,
From the Boys?
From the Boys comics, and the Boys TV show. But, you know. Anyways. Superman and his super friends, oh dear god, must stop him, while Lois Lane and the Daily Planet staff work to expose Luthor for his crimes. So it's Batman v Superman. The movie reportedly ends with Superman revealing his secret identity to Lois, so it's Man of Steel. Except not really. Luthor avoiding repercussions for his crimes, so it's a fucking shitty comic book. And announcing he is running for president, so it's a slightly less shitty comic book. And Supergirl arriving on Earth. Plus other DCU setups like the Engineer getting recruited into the Authority, along with all of the other fucking characters this goddamn movie has. Oh, looks like you're on the right planet, Captain. Time to get your briefing. Ship that stole the Nyaffles is supposed to have touched down on this planet not too long ago. Now, considering I've been fucking around for like 3 weeks now, I'm glad. It appears that the alien threat is no more keen on staying on the ball than I am. Parts of a prison camp being constructed. Safe to assume it'll be guarded. It's just occurred to me that I should have told you to bring weapons. Consider this a recon mission. And if you do run into trouble, try threatening to sue. Well, that is definitely what a lawyer would say. Right, so now I have a teddy bear and my wacko wife to back me up in this situation. And, you know, considering how things tend to go around here, I have a feeling that she's going to be the one to stick with. Because she appears to be able to breathe in space.
Oh, hello, Nanako. Are you here to watch us do some karate?
I wonder how much screaming at people is going to be in this Superman film that James Gunn is making. People who have...
Enough?
People who should otherwise not be screaming at each other, I mean. Oh no. This is a bad thing. I hope this is ketchup. Because after all, Magu says, oh no, somebody spilled a whole bunch of cranberry juice. Well, that would have to be it, because blood doesn't dry red. If it's red like this, well then it has to be, oh. It's the monsters. Identify yourself. Explain your actions. Identify yourself first, though. Yes, please do. And now, apparently, the prisoners have been abducted, and, I swear I'm not trying to tread on your toes, Carl. Bum 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 bum. sounds like the Battlefield theme. They're under amalgam protection now, so drop this whole matter and get back to my day job. Excuse me. Hey, I'm... Guys! Excuse me. Do you mind explaining what's going on? Bro, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Apparently the fucking Federation doesn't like me or some shit. What else is new? This must be sort of Firefly.
You know, I sometimes like to, speaking of federations, I often like to sometimes refer to Samus as an independent contractor for the Galactic Federation, because that's the only group of people that will hire her.
Oh, yes.
And the only group of people that Samus takes jobs from. Because the thing is like, Samus is supposed to be a bounty hunter, but the thing is, I feel like that's more of a title for her than
she doesn't
else.
really do a lot of bounty hunting. She mostly just takes down on bad guys. I prefer not to say how I learned about what happened for liability reasons. Can't expect a lead to just drop into our lap. Hello, I would like to drop a lead onto your lap. Thank you, Deep Throat. I'm happy to see that you survived your crushing in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Oh, don't remind me.
Meet me at the bar in Clanner 2, and maybe we can help each other out. Yeah, it's more impressive the fact that he managed to have to survive that happening like 6 or 7 times.
Relax, Chie. It's not as bad as the thunderstorm we had a couple nights ago. Chie. Apparently.
Gonna leave this package in the galley and I hope nobody gets ketchup on it.
No.
Forest flyer for Tyke 2.
She saw the ghost in the shell.
Oh yeah, I've heard that the new Gurren Lagann 4Ks, not only did Aniplex of America reauthor the Japanese discs rather than just reusing them, because they now include subtitles for the Japanese commentary track, so they officially have no excuse for being as stupid as they goddamn are. And they never did, but, you know. They also didn't encrypt the first dub disc.
Explain to me. Hey, what that mean?
Okay,
Explain.
so in order to rip a movie, it's from 4K Blu-ray to your hard drive. You have to have an access key for it in a specific drive. Now, most of the time, that's specific drive part isn't entirely necessary, but you need to have the key to get the thing. This is as far as I know. I'm not an expert on this aspect of movie ripping. Because I'm mostly ripped from...
So am I to assume that this is a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. For us. It's not a good thing for them, because it means that they're incompetent. They either reused an existing encryption key from a different disk, or... Because a buddy of mine put the disk into his drive and used a program called Make MKV on it, and he was just gonna try and get the decryption hash sorted. But, wound up, the whole movie wound up dumping. So that they just didn't encode it with the right key, or they didn't use a key. Which is embarrassing for them. Almost as embarrassing as them having two different discs, or dub and sub, despite the fact that they could have just shaved a little bit of, bitrate off the video, considering it is a animated project, and they don't need a lot of bitrate at H.265 to look good.
By the way, speaking of which, of course, the incompetent dipshits at Crunchyroll all can't cancel all the order that I ended up making by mistake.
Oh yeah.
And they're telling me, oh, send an invoice or send an image of it, and we'll send you a blah blah blah, so that you can get it refunded. And I'm like, at this point, I shouldn't bother.
Well, yeah, as long as you did, yeah, and you ordered from Robert's Anime Corner store was where you were trying to get it from otherwise. Right?
That canceled my order.
Yeah.
And gave me a full refund.
Yeah, that's the most honest I've ever seen Bob, because he is a fucking lunatic. Like, oh my god. So let me tell my Robert's Anime Corner store story. Complete with my story also about, how I was unable to get hold of a copy of Samurai Pizza Cats on Blu-ray. So, Samurai Pizza Cats was the first show that was ever released on standard definition Blu-ray, which is SD files on a 50 gigabyte disc, so that you can store more stuff on a disc and have better encoding standards than the DVD does. That went out of print a little while ago, so I was trying to figure out where I could get myself a copy. Rex was the only place I could get it from. And, I ordered that and a copy of the Darkstalkers OVA from him. It was like $5-10 cheaper than it was going to be to get it somewhere else, so I figured, hey, whatever. I'll get it from here. Then he canceled my order. And, he says, I don't care, really. There's nothing here that particularly enthralling. Now I look like Hulk Hogan crossed with Andrew WK. Which is kind of what I look like in real life. Uh-huh. But seriously, oh, warp fuel. I need that. Yeah, Bob canceled my order. Then he listed it up on his eBay page. Yeah, and I sent him a message saying, hey, what gives? Said you didn't have any more of these. And I see, like, 6 copies, I think it was, available on his eBay store, and then he said, oh, well, I acquired these after I canceled your order, or these were required at a higher price, so I couldn't fulfill it. And I was like, bull fucking shit, Bob. Go to hell, you fucking scalper. Who pretends to be a, legitimate retailer and purveyor of anime goods. That's fun. That was a waste of time. He did refund my money, but I would have far preferred to have my copy of Samurai Pizza Cats. And Darkstalkers, obviously, but, you know. Never let it be said he took somebody's money without them willingly parting with it, I guess. As far as I know. Yeah.
Neato. Alright. Now, oh, I already finished reading Beginner Fishing.
I hope this is an easy job.
I hope a lot of things are easy, like a Sunday morning.
Alright. Everything's offline. Now I'm not losing oxygen, that's great. Is the
By the
biscuit
way,
machine? Yes, the biscuit machine is back.
August 16th and 17th, I'm going to be attending Terrificon again.
Oh, cool.
Which, by the way, a certain hater is going to be there.
Ooh, great tell.
You might know him as a guy with a voice that we often imitate.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
A guy whose voice we often imitate that also causes damage to one's vocal cords.
Oh, that hater. I thought you were talking about, like a metaphorical hater, not like somebody who's David hater, yeah.
Yep. I actually asked him.
Apparently his, version of Watchmen was supposed to be set in the present day rather than the 80s. I wonder what that would have turned out like.
So, I find it interesting how David Hayter also has I actually asked him, I'm like, so was the so were the so the voice clips for the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 3 remake new voice clips, or were they the old ones?
Yeah, I don't think he wound up recording anything new for that. I think that was mostly, the tutorial voices were re-recorded. Because stupidly, Sony and Microsoft have changed a bunch of their buttons. I'm not missing out on the free experience points.
GA, if you bet it all on geography, I have some bad news to tell you. Now, Alex, this isn't the first time where Johnny Young Bosch has voiced a smarter student, and then Yuri Lowenthal voiced a dumbass.
I can imagine.
In Bleach, Bosch was Ichigo, who was in the top 20 of his class, as well. Yuri Lowenthal voiced Keigo, who was not even in the top 20. And he considered both Ichigo and Yasutoro Sato traitors. Biker gangs in your neighborhood. Get bent, get bent, get bent, get bent, get bent.
We're bikers, we're bikers, we're bikers, we're bikers.
Which, by the way, that's a reference to the High M Daisy comic.
You should ask him if anybody ever gets him to do lines from the
High M Daisy comic.
Or the MGS abridged.
I don't even think he knows Lord Quadros' version exists.
Yeah, it's not as apocalyptically popular as TFS or
Lord Quadros was in Dragon Ball Z abridged.
Yeah.
He voiced Princess Snake and one rando Namekian.
The Princess Snake voice being Solid Snake was hilarious.
What do my magnificent breasts tip you off? Nothing. Are you hungry? Hey, oh, I could eat anything. Me too. What? Nothing. Are you? Nothing. I killed everything here with the bare hands, including the bare hands. Everything with my bare hand.
Including the bare
hand.
Yeah.
It's a pawn. Oh, I can't believe you took all this stuff down yourself. I want to take you down. What? Nothing. Get in the hot tub. Ah, this feels so nice. Not
that
as
episode
nice as
was
grass.
so fucked up in the actual show, you know? Like, the snake had actually eaten Goku and was trying to digest him at that point. Granted, it is filler, so you know it's not gonna happen. But Jesus Christ, I was not expecting Vor in Dragon Ball, you know?
Geekdom ended up talking quite a bit about that episode once. And Fran had shared it to me, which, speaking of which, happy birthday, Fran!
Happy birthday, Fran.
So, he told me... and so, Geekdom was just, like, talking about how weird some of that episode was, and then I'm like, then there's the TFS version, which added on to the innuendos. Oh, this was nice and all, but I gotta get to King Kai's place. No. First, you must pass a test of endurance. What's that mean? It means I want you inside me. What? You'll see. Ah! Total separation. Stop chasing me! Stop grunting! It's creepy! Waka 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 waka. Yeah! Waka 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 waka. And then it's like, boy, it sure is glad that I was able to get away from her. Princess Snake.
Snake.
Princess Snake. Princess Snake. Dun
Bum
dun
bum
dun
bum
dun
bum
dun
bum.
dun
Bum
dun
bum
dun.
bum.
And so Alex, you
Uh-huh.
remember when we were talking about how how you basically turned Trigon into Trigun?
Trigun the Terrible, yes.
So
I remember that
interestingly,
stupid joke I made, yeah.
interestingly enough, you weren't the first one to make that joke.
I'm
That
glad.
that was in the Teen Titans abridgment in of the '03 series when Raven name drops ups Trigon in the abridgment of Nevermore. Beast Boy immediately assumes it was Vash the Stampede. And I'm like, Gar, I hate to tell you this, but that's not at all how that is. And then it's just like and it's just I'm trying to think.
That is the quickest job I've ever seen, but no thank you, I'm going to help myself to your biscuits.
What kind of biscuits?
Sure there is.
Oh, and also in that episode, Piccolo discovered that Gohan can turn into a giant gorilla.
Yeah.
Wait, that form, that that power. Everyone in Gohan's race can become a giant gorilla. If he destroys the planet, what'll be left for me?
That's one of my favorite lines. If he destroys
Fucking
the planet, what'll
me!
be left for me?
And then he just looks up at the moon and he's like, "Stop mocking me!" Weirdly enough, when they were talking about that episode, Ode in on the TFS on the little TFS retrospective things that they've been doing, things they for some reason it's like for some reason, and they end up of talking about how Lanny said is that he didn't actually.
Didn't actually what now?
They didn't actually really have a intention for why that joke was a thing.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just write down random shit and it's funny.
Yeah.
Some people put too much thought into this stuff, then, like, you just gotta roll with the punches.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, you guys really you don't have to put that much thought into it. You
Yeah.
just,
If it's funny, put it in.
I feel like it's kind of one of those non sequiturs, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah. Well, I've done that plenty, where it's like, I'm trying to figure out what to put somewhere, and I say
I mean, hell,
just whatever
I mean,
comes to
hell, I
mind, and
showed you.
if it's funny and it works, it works.
Oh, in other news, biker gangs in your neighborhood. Get bent, get bent, get bent. Hi, Kanji. So, a lot of people have been speculating about Kanji to the point where I'm just like, guys, he's not gay. He just likes cute things. He's just insecure about it. That's his whole shtick in a nutshell, Alex.
I believe it.
Because I just don't like how people have been incredibly disingenuous about Kanji as a character. They're doing that with
It's
him and Naoto.
it's stereotypical as fuck. Like, you want to try and break gender stereotypes? Don't try to make the guy who likes cute shit gay. You know? Oh,
Or
it's queer baiting. It's queer coded. No, it's fucking not. Grow up.
I swear to God, I swear to God, there's going to be a lot of negative things if they ever inevitably remake Persona 4, or like they did with Persona 3.
Eh,
So,
go
because
through the
keep in
red
mind,
weed or go through the fucking bullshit.
Persona 3, a real. Oh, while it has some interesting slice of life improvements, the issue is that, and it's like it feels like a heavily watered down version of the original game.
Well, it's Persona 3 has had like 4 major updates since the original. They didn't
Yep.
include any of that.
They had Persona 3 Fez, which is supposed to be an updated re-release of Persona 3, with some added content as well as the answer, or which wasn't added in Reload until DLC. And then, of course, they also there was also the Persona 3 portable content, which lets you choose between a male and a female protagonist, thus changing up the social links and whatnot. But then of course, there was the whole then there was the whole thing with the fact that the entirety of the voice cast has got changed, except weirdly enough, not entirely, since Yuri Lowenthal, Tara Platt, Michelle Ruff, of Grant George, Liam O'Brien, and whatnot do who all still play roles in there. It's just
They
not
don't play
the
the same roles.
yeah. They don't really play roles that fit them all too well. Like Yuri, he has a great voice, but I don't think he's a good dad voice.
Not really. His voice sounds a little too youthful.
Yeah, he sounds more like a young adult. Oh, he sounds like a teenager to a young adult.
He could probably make it sound right, but, you know. Voice
I
direction is
mean,
everything.
hell, it's still funny how he was able to act through a French accent in the Helsing Ultimate dub.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like that show gave me one of my favorite Yuri Lowenthal voice through Pip Bernadotte.
Indeed.
But I just can't imagine him voicing an actual father. I mean, I'm sure he is one in real life. From what I could
Yeah,
tell.
I'd have to look at it, and I
And the
have
thing
no
is
idea
like
if he has kids or if he's married or what. But yeah.
he is married. Tara Platt is his wife.
Oh, okay.
Now, the thing is that, and I feel like looking at all the performances that I've seen of Persona 3 Reload, I feel like Alex Lee definitely was the best out of all of them, and everybody else was just painfully. But then again, at the very least, Alex Lee only had to play like 2 or 3 characters. Like he does the grunts for the protagonist as well as naming off the personas. But he's also Pharos and Ryuji or the
Okay.
Ryoji. And at the very least I did it kind of like his deliveries as the Nyx avatar, or which is what Ryoji transforms into at the end of the game.
Okay.
And yes, he does say all of the arcana is the means by which all is revealed lines.
Okay then.
I'm like, we have 2 different flavor. No, wait, we have 3 different flavors of this. Have we have the original Seiyu, we have Yuri Lowenthal, and then we have Alex Lee. It was a young male who's buff, muscular, or has and tells us to get bent. So, do you know why the Midnight Channel is a thing in this game?
No.
Do you care for spoilers?
Not sure.
It's gonna be a long while before I get to the end of this game.
What's up?
Okay, so there is this being called Izanami no Okami, based off of the, mythological figure of the same name,
Mm-hmm.
who who ends up kind of fueling the a fog that covers up Inaba and the Shadow World every so often. And the Midnight Channel is of her own creation to get people curious about certain things because she wants to study humanity and whatnot.
Oh, well, the drink machine. Clay, the drink machine, is now talking to me.
Oh God. And
Apparently, he's a spy, disguised as a drink
and
machine.
Izanami.
Or no, he literally is a vending machine, and he's an AI that has taken control of this vending machine to talk to me. That's hilarious.
And essentially, the Midnight Channel it takes it, and essentially, the Midnight Channel is basically, or the TV world is made from the hearts of the entire populace of Inaba. So basically, anybody could have a bizarre world inside of the TV.
Hmm.
That's kind of also feeling into the cosmology of Shin Megami Tensei as a whole. And it's kind of why Versus Battle Wiki has a lot of these characters as insane listed as insanely powerful as they are. And Izanami Okami ultimately, as I said, is mostly just an observer. And she also gives people the power to go inside of TV,
Hmm. Oh, by
which
the
is
way,
what
Clay the vending
she did.
machine just said that he wants us to go rescue our people, and he gave us the information we need to do that by posing as the ship from as the space shuttle Titanium from Star Wars. Jesus fucking Christ! And that all he wants is to share the information in a way that the Federation doesn't find out about.
Right.
Who moved the vending machine? I was hiding my boogers behind that.
Anyway, um, so ultimately, Izanami no Okami, who ends up posing as a gas station attendant that you see every so often,
Oh
and
yeah, I remember that. I
she
remember
imbu-
that. Hearing about that.
she imbues the power power of traversing inside of the TV world to not only our protagonist but also Toru Adachi and Taro Namatame. Three very important characters to this game. Yosuke
Friendship,
is
love, love, and
now
mahogany.
Yosuke, is now really a good time to ask me who's my preference in waifus? Seriously, Yosuke, you need to get your priorities straight. And ultimately, when a person is placed inside of the TV world, the ugly side of them is showcased to
Hmm.
people. That's why we saw in the castle, Yukiko is very promiscuous, if you will.
Hmm.
Whereas is in whereas the dungeon we're going to be going to, because of how Kanji is often mistaken for gay. And the ugly side of him is essentially a sauna
That, huh.
with one of the catchiest tunes in this entire game.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And the next one we're going to get to may get us demonetized.
Hmm.
It's Risei's dungeon.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. I was trying to find that.
Risei's dungeon essentially is a striptease bar
Hmm.
with poles everywhere. And we see the shadow and we see the shadow of this underage girl who'll do amateur pole dancing maneuvers.
Amateur pole dancers tend to not do very good and then injure themselves.
Yeah, but it's more like she's trying too hard to seduce people.
Oh, you tried so hard, you got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter, did it?
Hey, it's a lady who looks like a dude.
I got my song backwards. Hang on. God damn it.
Hello, Naoto Shirogane. I'm sure we'll get to your thing sooner or later. Naoto's tomboy, you dipshits.
not on a trans. Get
Ah!
over it.
Ow! Thruster not receiving power. Big old crack in
You
the
guys
fucking
were
hull.
you guys were all that easily fooled by I a, wo- I, a woman trying to sound masculine.
Oh yeah, I recently saw one of those, drawings where she's like, I'm a woman, see? And flashes tits.
Uh, I love this counter beam. You've seen it before, right? It's just a drawing. A drawing of what? A fictional fucking character. Says Weevil Underwood before throwing the cards off the deck.
Say goodbye to Exodia.
Well, I mean, not really, but we did have heard of her. Karen Strassman plays quite a few characters in this game.
That's always nice.
Yep. Though she's still my favorite voice of Aegis from Persona 3. I swear, Troy Baker has also voiced a number of characters in this game.
Huh.
Somehow. You never know.
You never know, you never know.
Quick, we need to hide. Even Kanji was fooled. You two go swimming, and then suddenly you see a pair of boobs. You're like, what the fuck? He's gonna have that same reaction that Chris Griffin did that one episode of Family Guy.
What episode was that?
It was the episode where the Griffins had to move away because a guy was going after Chris, and Chris ended up hanging out with this one chick whom he thought was a guy until they decided to go swimming one day, and he found out that he was a she.
Huh.
It means all of you were curious about Kanji. So, in case you're wondering, how does one of the guys I listed, which was Taro Namatame, fit into this? He's the guy that's been stuffing our party members into the TV.
Oh.
He had, because of what happened to Mayumi Yamano, he was manipulated into believing that at, that he should save them by thanks to Adachi. He's Adachi's like, hey, you should totally save them. And we'll be seeing more of that later on. And
What? That was weird. I tried to throw it when I was trying to put it in the fuel tank.
before this game, my dumbass did not know what textiles were, or in that, and I'm like, oh, I was a very dumb person.
Hmm.
That weird kid being the girl with the biggest rack among this party. I'm not joking, by the way.
I believe it.
Can you now, Chie?
I got credits and a recipe for eggnog.
By the way, so, I did meet Troy. I did tell you when I met at Troy Baker at Kineticon, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I genuinely could not believe he was really tall.
Yeah.
Like, he is a tall son of a gun. GA, shut the fuck up and realize that this is this is part of the case. We kind of need to actually contact each other. This is why I kind of prefer Persona 5. There's a little chemistry with their team. Because guess what? Nobody was bitching at each other about the goddamn phone numbers. Ooh. And unfortunately, because I can't do anything at home, I gotta go to bed again. Because I gotta rest early. Come on, game. Don't be a bitch.
Quit harshing my vibe, bro. God fucking damn it. Hang on.
Yosuke, I have several questions. When all four of you are in the exact same spot on as one another, you kind of make it blatantly obvious that you're stalking them. I would think maybe at least a couple of you would hide behind the column over there, or at least hide behind that wall. All in a crouched position. All right. Hey, Yosuke, Chie. Hey, you two. Ugos. You know what? I want to pair up with Chie.
Of course this one's like this.
Fuck you. I don't want to be left alone with her.
Me every time Teddy Bear threatens to leave me alone with my wife.
Oh, boy.
Come back here, Pooh Bear. Not getting away from this crazy woman that easily.
I even know I'm not alright, because I'm with you. Fine, I guess I'll go along with you, you dumb bitch. Thank you. Fine, don't worry, I'll protect you.
They're sending a nearest person out here. Interesting. Oh, hello, you have unique art. You've been awarded
Don't worry
10
about it.
nearest points. Get to work on what? You and your ship are now the property of the Nearest Corporation. What? Nope.
And now I just started the Priestess social link. Yay!
I guess we found our other crewmate.
Hey, be thankful
By
you're
walking
actually...
through the door, you agreed to the contract. This is based on a joke that Yahtzee and Gabe told during one of their Let's Drown Outs about Scientology. No, I don't actually have to do what you tell me, right?
Let's keep in mind, Alex, the numerous jokes we've made about
Field supervisor.
About Scientology.
Yes. By what measure? I appear to be the one who has the ship
Alex,
and pilots the ship. Yes.
Look at my stream.
Yep.
Just look at the way that they are positioned. Does that not look suggestive at all?
A little bit. They're also not hiding very well. They're kind of incredibly obvious.
Yeah. I'm like, Yosuke, please. Yosuke or Chie, please reposition yourself so you don't look like you're doing each other doggy style. No! Really? You don't say! Next you're gonna tell me that you two look suggestive. GA, just stop. Oh, thank God, Yosuke got out of the weird position.
Good.
Except you would, because you called me, you dumbass! Bullshit! I have text messages, and I will show them to you. Look at what he texted me. Look at it! Look at it! I want you to look at it!
Okay, I'll look at it. Jesus Christ.
Yosuke, you texted me your nudes on accident. And I had to ask you, were you intending to send that to a woman? And he said, yes? Who were you going to send it to? You're not with anybody. I'll delete that message now. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, hi, Kanji. You saying I like dudes? GA, just go along with it, dipshit. No.
My wife is happy that I am now employed. Technically, I was already employed, but, you know.
GA, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Yosuke. We're not exactly helping your case, Kanji, by aggressively chasing them.
Is he on the hunt and after you?
I don't know. Yeah, thanks a bunch. Oh, shit. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Lovebirds, huh? Were you making kissy faces, Yosuke? Please tell me you were. I wish to know all the details.
Shippers tend to disagree with that notion.
Well, we all know what shippers can do. Go fuck themselves.
You saying I like dudes?
Aaron Hansen actually voice acted in the comic dub for that.
I managed to get some use out of, that old clip of If Benzai Was Gay from back in the day.
Yosuke, you dumbass!
Hey, my name's Benzai, and you know how I'm always kissing guys. I got the Bookaloo flu, doing the dude. It's called AIDS semantics anyway. Yeah. I used it in reply to Milo Yiannopoulos when he was being irritating on Twitter. Which is all the time now that he's back.
Looks like we gotta wait for Kanji to get kidnapped. Let's go find out where Kanji is in the Midnight Channel. Let me guess, he got kidnapped, didn't he?
He was kidnapped by ninjas!
No, what happened and was that he was just walking down the street one day, and then all of a sudden a ninja appeared! And then a Nazi showed up!
That's
And then a pots
something
and
I should
pans
know.
robot just appeared. Destroy, destroy.
I definitely should know this.
Please tell me you've watched Family Guy.
I've watched Family Guy, but it's been a very long time.
That was the episode when and Quagmire got married to the maid that Peter ended up having for a week. And then and then he decided he didn't want on any part of the relationship anymore since that meant he had to be committed to her. And you know how
Oh.
Quagmire is.
Yeah, kind of like how, when Bender went through all the trouble of legalizing homosexual marriage and then he realized that meant monogamy.
Yep. And then and of course or so and then of course or when Quagmire tried to break up with her, she went crazy.
Crazy. Crazy for feeling so lonely.
All
Time
right.
critical.
We're going to watch the Midnight Channel. Let's see what we see on TV. I don't think I'm going to like what I am witnessing here. Oh my. Suddenly it's starting to get very steamy.
Percent normal. Thank you.
Oh, hello. Alex, why is
What?
it suddenly getting steamy in here?
Are you in a steam room, perhaps?
No.
Fucking damn it, this
You
red weed is
know,
everywhere.
I'm somewhat thankful for the fact that YouTube doesn't demonetize for for man nudity.
Yeah.
Because we'd be definitely getting demonetized right now.
Sick.
Okay then.
Teddy
Hey,
Bear, please help
so
me.
I did see the whole thing, Yosuke. Would you like a copy? I have it on tape. That's a bit from the Persona 4 animation.
I've heard that the Persona animes aren't that great.
The first Persona 4 anime is actually pretty alright. But from Golden onward, yeah, they suck. Oh, oh, jeez. I don't know how to
And they're
tell you this,
incredibly
Alex.
overpriced because they're Aniplex productions.
Yep, and I have more bad news, Alex.
What?
Well, I'm getting attacked.
By ninjas?
No.
Darn.
If it were if I didn't know if it were a ninja, I didn't know ninjas had slobber.
Oh, hello. Woof woof.
Oh god. No! No!
I can hear it
No!
this time.
No! No! Uh, you just stood there and watched. This is a waking nightmare.
No, it's not. This might be some kind of heaven.
What do you mean it's some kind of heaven? Well, anyway, we just heard that Kanji just got kidnapped. So we're gonna have to go to Teddy, aren't we?
Yes.
Joy. It's inside everybody's minds.
fine. I wanted to see what the inside of your ship was like and maybe get some food for helping you, but... no. If I run out of stamina out here, that's your fault. Ooh, Trading Post has upgrade units for sale. Good to know.
Adachi just sits there, or with popcorn, or in a Slurpee cup from 7-Eleven that is labeled malicious intentions. Hmm. Did the killer, in fact, look like this? Shows a picture of Adachi. Chie, do you even need to ask that question? You know, people would actually pay for you to do that, Chie.
Hey, to do what?
Put footprints onto their faces.
Oh my god. Quentin Tarantino, you found somebody who will do very good business with you.
Tarantino will just sit there as Chie removes her shoes. It was as per his orders. And then he's like, okay, you may step on me. We make very interesting jokes on here.
Well, if we didn't, we wouldn't have anything else to pass the time with.
Yep. It's a shame the next two shows I'm not going to have you around.
That's actually kind of changed, but, yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I was going to be going out of town for a couple of weeks soon. It turns out it's not going to be as soon, hypothetically. So I'm still going to be around for a little bit, but I'll be out of town for 2 weeks after that.
Oh,
So,
boy.
a little while down the line. We'll figure out the exact details later. God damn it, it's like they're fucking seeking me out. Looks like blood running down my screen, like in the Modern Warfare games.
So, Alex,
Uh?
here's some tedium. Here's some tedium we gotta go through for Persona 4. Now, w- now since unlike Yukiko, where at least two of our party member or one of our party members actually knew her very well, um, unfortunately, none of us really know kanji too well.
Hmm.
So we gotta go do some fetch quests.
Of course.
This is something we gotta do for every single one of our party members up to Naoto.
Hmm.
I know, it's retarded.
Look at that render underneath the windshield.
Alright, we talked
How's that
to
rendered underneath
Kanji's
that?
mother. Let's go. Alright. Let's go back to the school.
And now we can re-engage, hopefully with slightly less red weed this time. It's not that it makes you high, it's just that it makes your ship incredibly slow. Somehow.
This song, let me tell you something, Alex. This song felt like it was going to live rent-free in my skull all after I played this game.
Is that a bad thing?
Considering the only words that most people could make out from it are your affection over and over again. Yes. I can say that without any hint of hesitation on my part.
Got prime loot
All
here.
right. All right, since we can't do any more of the fetch quest until tomorrow, we're gonna go to the shrine and talk to the fantastical Mr. Fox, who may or may not be voiced by George Clooney.
Yeah. That movie is underappreciated.
I agree.
We should watch it one of these days.
Yes. So I think when Sonic 3 is about to release on home video, we should do the Sonic movies.
Yeah. We should also do Beverly Hills Cop 3 before Beverly Hills Cop 4 comes out.
Which is when?
Soon. I'd have to look at it, but it's... For some reason, Netflix isn't releasing it to theaters. They're just refusing, which is bizarre to me. Because I have no doubt in my mind, especially considering how well Bad Boys 4 did, that another Beverly Hills Cop movie would do really well.
Aww. One benefit to being the big brother in this game is the fact that your little sister is adorable.
Alright, I have just enough stamina to get here, get here, get here, get here, and get on back on the ship. Yes! I'm dying out here, guys.
Oh, that one panda user on Twitter ended up sharing to me a video of how
low
the guy who goes
or
the guy who has the name
Pan isn't Vidya?
Panda Lover.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he shared to me a video of how Kabuto fumbled the war, which was the Fourth Great Ninja War. Because, and the thing is that the Akatsuki were going to go into that war with only Tobi, Kisame, and Zetsu left. To which I'm like, oh my god. Alright, walking down the stairs. Let's go talk to Miss Sofue.
Gonna grab the Oniris device.
We gotta do more fetch questing.
I've got to do the opposite of fetch questing.
Hey, Naoto, let's talk. I gotta get a Hierophant persona. Oh. Hello, Margaret. And thus starts one of the most tedious side quests in the game. So, Margaret embodies the Empress Arcana.
I
And
don't know what that means.
her quest is essentially get certain persona with certain skills, and you will level up your social link with her. Thankfully, all of the personas that I need for her side quest are registered from my previous run of this game.
Cool.
So, once I get to a point where I could grind up a huge amount of money, I'm going to try to sweep through that as soon as possible. You only get to start this side quest when your knowledge is up at a certain level.
Now my oxygen is critical. Well, not critical, but going down. But at least I have multiple oxygen filters to install something for that.
Now she wants Ippon Andatara with Sukakaja. But we're going in there to get a Hierophant persona right now.
You know, if you're gonna hang around my fucking ship, the least you could do is keep it goddamn clean. You stupid crew members. I'm probably gonna wrap it up soon here.
Yeah, same here.
Because we're coming to a certain point in the game. I don't know what that certain point is.
I'm gonna go.
I'm hungry and need to go eat.
I'm gonna go. Help my Kohai with her self-esteem issues.
Come on, guys. There we go. Trading post in Kanea. This is the one. Yeah, whatever. We're almost here, even if it's not. I can't remember what the trading post symbol is. Oh, god fucking damn it.
Got 30,000 yen from Dojima. Hey,
$300. Nice. Well, not $300 right now.
let's chat. Let's see. Well, I've been working. Tell me about yourself. I remember the Hayam Daisy comic for Dojima is very interesting. He's like, hey, I'm making coffee. How do you take yours? Black? Oh, don't try to sound tough, you sissy. Cream? Oh, coming right up, madam. Cream and sugar? What are you, Nanako? Daddy, I'm black. Surprise me? Dojima! Hey, Dojima! Remember when your wife got run over by a car? And nobody ate dinner that night.
I remember seeing that.
Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up for tonight. So we're gonna continue Persona 4 or Golden later. I know we didn't get any dungeon crawling done, but who gives a shit? But here's the thing. I will be doing more Persona 4 or Golden after Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. So until then, I will see you laters. Alex, what about you?
Well, yep. See y'all later. Bye, everybody.